So students, today we will study about the sexual reproduction in plants. So basically, sexual reproduction is that kind of reproduction in which reproductive parts of the plant are involved. So what are those reproductive parts? Basically, these reproductive parts are of two types, male reproductive part and female reproductive part. So male reproductive part is known as stamens and female reproductive part is known as pistil. So let us first discuss both of these one by one. See children, this is a stamen. Stamen is a male reproductive part. See, this is a stamen. In stamen, we have two parts. This tube-like structure, it is known as filament, and the structure above the filament, this structure, it is known as anther. So basically, stamen is made up of two parts, that is filament and anther. So anther is that part which produces pollen grains. These structures are pollen grains. So these are the male gametes. And when we talk about the female reproductive part, that is pistil. Pistil is made up of basically three parts: stigma, style and ovary. Stigma is the topmost part. This is known as stigma. While this tube-like projection, it is known as style. This is known as style. While this bulb-like projection, it is known as ovary, and in ovary there is a structure that is called ovule. Based on the reproductive parts, the flowers are unisexual and bisexual. So there are two types of flowers. One is unisexual and other is bisexual. Uni means single, or you can say one. So in this flower there is only one reproductive part, that is either male part or female part. While in bisexual flowers there are two reproductive parts, means both of the reproductive parts are present, male and female parts. Is it clear? So children, male reproductive part produces the male gametes that are known as pollen grains. These pollen grains are produced in anther. While female reproductive part produces female gametes. These female gametes are known as eggs and these are produced in ovule. I hope this concept is clear to all of you. So children, after knowing the different reproductive parts of a plant, it is necessary that we must know about the pollination. So what is pollination? It is a process of transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma. Children, we know that pollen grains are produced in this anther. This is a male reproductive part. So these are pollen grains. These pollen grains are transferred from this anther to stigma of the pistil. So this is a female reproductive part. So the transfer of pollen grains from anther to stigma is known as pollination. Now the topic comes about pollination. We must know there are two types of pollination. First is self-pollination and second is cross-pollination. The name itself suggests that self-pollination means when pollination occurs in a single flower. Self, अपने आप में जब pollination होता है. While cross means different. So different flowers में जब pollination हो, that is known as cross-pollination. So like this is a one flower and this is another flower. So here this is stigma and this is anther. So when the pollen grains from the anther of this flower transfers to the stigma of the same flower, it is known as self-pollination. While when the pollen grains from the anther of a particular flower is transferring to the stigma of another flower, this is known as cross-pollination. I hope this topic is clear to all of you.